Hello guys, Zennosh here and welcome to Counterside SEA, and today in this video I'm here to present you guys with the latest PvP tier list as that of July 1st, 2021. That said, I would love to give a very big shout out and thanks to these two amazing guys known as Arisante and Voodoo, who were a really great help to me in order to come up with this amazing tier list. That said, let's get this started. I would love to begin with the SS tier units, and the first one on the list is gonna be Kyle Wong. This guy is a monster. First of all guys, he only costs 3 deployment cost. He can summon up to 2 bulwark armors in the battlefield that can stun as well as taunt the opponents at the same time. Very amazing CC skill right over there. And on top of that one, he can also deal some good AoE damage that can hit stun the opponents. And he is quite good at melting down the defenders as well, because he deals the damage based on the current HP of the opponents as well. So yeah, pretty great unit. Next is gonna be the Fenrir Yumina, or let's say Awakened Yumina, a very recent addition to the Counterside SEA. She is very well known for doing amazing burst damage. Okay, she's kind of hybrid between Gaiun and Elizabeth Pendragon. So whenever you are going to deploy her, she's going to deal some really good AoE damage, and she can wreak havoc against the backline opponents. That said, every third basic attack she's going to deal enhanced attack that will also decrease her ultimate skill cooldown by 3 seconds. That will allow her to use her ultimate skill very frequently. So that makes a really amazing unit. Next is gonna be Gaiun, really known for her amazing damage output against the opponents, and she's quite tanky on top of that one as well, and that makes her a very amazing unit. All right, but that said, every third basic attack is going to deal that enhanced attack, and that will also decrease her ultimate skill cooldown by 2 seconds. So she will be able to use her ultimate skill real soon, and she can also decrease the attack speed of the opponents by about 14%, I believe. Anyways, that's pretty great. Now next unit in the list is gonna be Elizabeth Pendragon. I mean, like, she can deal some really great damage against the opponent, especially when you are going to deploy her. Just time it right. I guess she's like a semi-paratrooper in my opinion, because like you can place her really like nearly like most of the part of the field, even if the HP of the opponent ship is like at 100%. Okay, and that will allow you to use your Elizabeth Pendragon in order to counter the snipers of the opponents or ranger of the opponents right away. Really good unit. With her ultimate skills, she can deal very amazing AoE damage that can stun all the opponents, and also at the same time she can guarantee the critical damage. Okay, so that's how good she really is. Next unit in the list is gonna be the Kang So-young. Okay, people are so mad about her. First of all, she only costs 2 deployment cost. Yes, that's how good she really is. Only 2 deployment cost, and she's like 2-in-1 unit, because like as soon as she gets deployed, she also summons a stronghold right off the bat with a bang. Okay, and that's it. She provides 20% attack power boost to the soldier units. She can improve the damage reduction of the soldier units by 20%, and on top of that one, she can boost the damage done against these counter units by 20%, and against the sniper units by 30%. So that's why people really do love to use her against the sniper units, being able to counter the sniper units, because first of all, she's a paratrooper as well, meaning like you can deploy her anywhere in the battlefield right away, no matter how much the HP of the opponent really is. So Kang So-young, really amazing unit, a core unit for the soldier teams. And next is gonna be Eins and Joy. This twin really keeps on providing a lot of buff to each other that makes them so good in the battlefield, providing skill haste for each other, providing attack power boost for each other, even decreasing their skill like ultimate skill cooldown by 20% as well. I mean, like, so many things out there that they keep on providing for each other that makes them so amazing out there in the battlefield, and they can also deal pure damage or true damage against the opponents, which is even much better. Okay, that's it. The next unit on the list is gonna be Hilde, Awakened Hilde, right over here, guys. This Awakened Hilde can tank a lot of damage incoming from the opponents. She's kind of like a team player as well, as she provides armor, or let's say barrier, to all the allies in the team right away as soon as she gets deployed. And with her special skill, she also keeps on providing herself that 25% HP worth of shield every special skill that she triggers, and that actually makes her even more tanky. All right, and she's just too good. She's really good. And next is gonna be the Jane Doe right over here. Jane Doe, don't underestimate her. She can deal some really crazy damage against the opponents, and if you're using a soldier composition or soldier team, then she can actually help you a lot. And she is quite free to play friendly as well, as you can totally farm for her. Okay, and that said, every second basic hit, she is going to deal enhanced damage that actually can deal AoE damage and guarantee the critical damage at the same time. You can really expect a lot of good damage coming out from her. Really good at dealing massive high damage, okay? And she also boasts to have one of the highest evasion stat in the game out there as well, and that allows her to evade so many incoming attacks, that allows her to act as a very effective off tank, okay? She can really tank a lot of damage. Next is gonna be Young Harim right over here. She is the best supporter out there and totally future proof unit as well, so it's really advised for you guys to summon her right away. I mean, like, her banner is ongoing right now as well, right? Name it, whatever the utility is, she has it, okay? She can heal the allies, she can improve the skill haste. She provides skill haste to allies by up to 40%. That is the highest out there. With her being around, your allies will have no problem at all spamming a lot of skills against your opponents, which is just too good, okay? And she can even provide barriers to the allies, and barriers are pretty much OP in this game because they can soak a lot of damage and provide a lot of sustenance to your teammates, okay? And she can also decrease the attack speed of the allies, opponents, while also at the same time being able to increase the attack power of the allies as well. So much more, man, so much more. She's just amazing package right over there, just only for 3 cost. Next is gonna be the Nanahara Jifuyu, only 3 deployment cost, and she can deal some really good damage. She can boost her own attack stats by up to 15% permanently. That is great, right? And every second basic attack, she can deal the enhanced attack that can stun the opponents, alright? And decrease their defense by 20%. 20% defense reduction right over there. And she can also improve her own attack speed as well thanks to her ultimate skill, and her ultimate skill can also target the flying opponents as well. So yeah, very amazing unit right over there, guys. She is quite tanky as well at the same time. Next is gonna be Claudia Nelson. Claudia Nelson is totally known for her ETB, enter the battlefield effect, or let's say deployment effect. Whenever you are going to deploy her in the battlefield, she provides 20% HP recovery to all of the allies in the battlefield, which can allow you to turn the tables around right off the bat, and that actually makes her so good, okay? 20% healing right away as soon as you deploy her in the battlefield. Time it right, you can totally dominate your opponents or just get out from a very pesky situation. And on top of that one, she can also heal all the allies very good as well. Next is gonna be Rosaria Lefride. Rosaria, the chair waifu sama. Oh my god, it's just too good when it comes to deal a lot of AoE damage to the opponents, alright? And as soon as she gets deployed in the battlefield, she also has some like damage immunity right away that actually can allow her to keep on channeling her skills really good as well. And whenever she gets redeployed, guess what? She is going to reset her special skill, and she's going to have about 15 seconds of cooldown reduction on her ultimate skill, and that makes her even better, okay? She is so good, especially against the air targets, okay? Now that's it. The next unit in the list is going to be Liumi. This woman is very good tank unit, alright? How she actually improves her own evasion stats. She has quite high evasion stats. On top of that one, she improves her own evasion stats. She can decrease the hit stat of the opponents, which will allow her to evade the attack of the opponents more successfully, alright? And she can also decrease the attack stat of the opponent as well, meaning like she's going to take reduced damage from the opponents at the same time. And she can also have that a lot of damage reduction as well. So very good, amazing, effective tank right over there in the battlefield. Can tank a lot, guys. Next is gonna be the Sylvia Lena Cooper. Sylvia Lena Cooper, very amazing unit when it comes to dealing a lot of damage. She's a sniper unit with only 3 deployment cost. She can stun the opponents, really good AoE damage, and she's a really great support for the mech teams, especially if you are going to use Titan in your team, okay? Very good unit because like she can provide a lot of buff, like attack power boost to the mech type units. So great unit indeed right away. Next is gonna be the Jushion. Jushion, like, you have to time it right. He can actually provide you a lot of amazing bonuses in the battlefield out there, okay? Whenever there's like a heat stun type of attack incoming towards you, just deploy Jushion. He's going to counter right away and is going to like stun the opponents instead while doing some really great damage. He can be dropped anywhere. He's a really good paratrooper unit, so that means like you can totally use him in order to counter units like snipers and rangers, okay? Really great unit right over there, alright? And really good like ultimate skill as well, being able to deal some really good damage out there. Next is gonna be the Evelyn Keller. Evelyn Keller is totally known for providing the best healing in the game right over there. Best heal over time effect, okay? So that's that, guys. Even with the basic attacks, is providing healing to the teams. Okay, so that's how good she really is. But that's all there is to it. All right, not really good deployment effect right away, just like Claudia Nelson. So that's the reason why Claudia Nelson is a little bit better when it comes to comparison against the Evelyn Keller in the PvP contents. Next is gonna be the Titan. Okay, Titan, this guy is solid, dude, guys. I mean, like, depending upon like who is getting killed around in the battlefield, he actually tries to build up the resistance against those kind of units out there, and in due time he actually becomes like one of the most tankiest unit out there in the game right away. Okay, he can deal a lot of damage, he can actually tank a lot of damage also at the same time. He's like a big wall, and thanks to a lot of other mech units like Ironside, John Mason, Sylvia Lena Cooper, and so much more, he actually can stand his own ground and provide a lot of advantage to you guys in the game. And most of the people really fear the mech compositions. Why? Because they are pretty much stable. Okay, usually most of the time they actually provides a very predictable and very stable performance. Anyways, now that's it. Let's move on to the S tier. All right. In the S tier, the first unit is going to be Ju Seong. Okay, Ju Seong is totally known for countering the sniper units or long range units. All right, with her counter, she actually takes the counter stance, and whenever she gets the damage, she's just going to counter the opponents. She can also provide evasion boost, and she has one of the best evasion stats out there in the game as well. And on top of that one, she can stun the opponents at the same time. So really a great unit, guys. Really a great unit. Next unit is going to be Hilde right over here. Hilde is totally known for knocking back the opponents. First thing. Next thing is that like she can provide the buff to the counter units, like attack power boost as well as the crit boost, and that is so good. And she can deal some really good AoE damage as well, and that makes her a really amazing unit. Very good off tank unit, guys. Next is gonna be this unit known as the Nanahara Chinatsu. All right, Nanahara Chinatsu can provide really amazing damage reduction or damage resistance to all the allies, like 25% I believe. And on top of that one, she can provide a lot of healings, and she can provide the attack power boost to the allies as well. Really amazing unit, guys. Very good supporting unit. Next is gonna be the John Mason. John Mason is like 3-in-1 unit. He can summon a drone, and that drone can summon a CO, which is quite tanky, can take a lot of damage, and this guy is pretty tanky himself as well. Can deal lots of damage to the opponents right out there in the battlefield, and that's the John Mason. Can also silence the opponents, which will like not allow the opponents to use their active skills, and that can be quite helpful in the tough fights. Next is gonna be the Aureus Esquire. Aureus Esquire, very amazing unit out there, being able to provide a lot of healings. As soon as you deploy her in the battlefield, she provides 10% healing. Alright, and she can also decrease the damage received by the allies. Very amazing. And she can also provide the barriers to the allies. And barriers in this game is pretty amazing, guys. It's quite OP as well. So yes, Aureus Esquire, bring it on. Next is gonna be the Hayami Sanae. Hayami Sanae, really known for long range AoE attack, can knock back the opponents as well. Very good in order to control the crowd and being able to deal some really great damage. Sometimes her AoE damage can even reach up to snipers. Like, that's how long she is. Like, that's how effective her AoE long range attack really is. Okay, that's Hayami Sanae for you. Next is gonna be Ryan Ferrier. Ryan Ferrier can tank a lot of incoming damage from the opponents. He has very high HP stats, and on top of that one, he can like reduce the incoming damage by a very high percentage. Okay, and he can taunt the opponents, and also at the same time he can stun the opponents. So very great unit that can tank a lot while also at the same time stunning the opponents and taking damage like, you know, like a macho man. Next is gonna be the Assault Trooper. The best thing about this dude right over here, which is like a rare unit, okay, a rare unit, only 2 deployment cost. He can be deployed anywhere in the battlefield because he is a paratrooper. Okay, so that makes him very amazing unit. All right, and also troopers are like 3 units in one character. Yes, 3 units, so that will also help you a lot in order to compensate with those valid hits. Next is gonna be the Eddie Fisher right over here. Eddie Fisher, with only 2 deployment cost, he's a really great addition. First of all, guys, he provides a very good buff to the counter as well as the soldier team compositions. Can deal some really good damage against the opponents, and so on and on. Really good unit, especially for the assistants. Next is gonna be the Shinjia. Shinjia can deal a lot of damage to the opponents out there, especially when she, you know, like summons her clone. Okay, can deal a lot of damage. She can improve the attack speed of all the allies in the team, and yeah, lots of damage, guys. And next is gonna be the Adamant Soldier. She is just a normal unit, and yet she is in the S tier. Why? Because she can deal a lot of damage for only 2 deployment costs. She's a sniper unit, one of the cheapest sniper unit out there in the game, guys. 2 deployment cost, and she's a normal unit, can deal a lot of damage, and she will remain in the deployment spot. Okay, she will not move here and there. That means like it's gonna be quite a really great help in order to solidly keep the line, keep the base, and her attack really do hurt. All right, and yeah, that's that, guys, because like for most of the time whenever you are using Shaolin or let's say Mia, at that time they just keep on moving around, right? They just keep on moving forward, and that is going to be quite easier for the opponents to actually counter you right away. Like let's say they might be able to use Elizabeth Pendragon, they might be able to use the Awakened Yumina, and so on and on, in order to counter your snipers right away. But what if your adamant sniper just stays to one position and just stays over there, just doing a lot of damage from their rear line, and that makes her so special. Next is going to be Ironside. This guy is just to get really essential unit for the mech team compositions. Why? Because he can provide a lot of healing to the allies. As soon as he gets deployed, he provides really good healing to the mech team like Titan, and he can also keep on providing a lot of heals to them as well over time. Okay, so that's the Ironside for you guys. Only 2 deployment cost, and that makes him even more effective. Next is gonna be the Hound. This guy is a solid unit, a solid tanky unit. Like he's a tank, right? He's a solid tank unit for the mech team composition, guys. With only 3 deployment costs, he has really amazing defense and HP stats. Can tank a lot of damage. He can knock back the opponents. He can force the opponents to attack him as well, if I'm not wrong, and that's a lot, guys. Okay, you can expect him to be really able to take a lot of damage right over there. Next is gonna be the Ingrid Joanna. Ingrid Joanna with only 2 deployment cost. Her main purpose in the battlefield is as a paratrooper. She's supposed to counter the snipers right away. Okay, any snipers comes in around, just go out there, assassinate them right away. Okay, and it's really good as well, because with only 2 deployment costs, it's actually a fair trade as well. Usually most of the time snipers cost like 4 cost, right? And 2 cost for 4 cost. It's a really good trade-off right off the bat. Next is gonna be the Lin Xian. Lin Xian, totally the best battery in the game. Don't be fooled by her 4 deployment cost, because right off the bat, as soon as she gets deployed in the battlefield, she recovers 2 deployment cost right away, and with the ultimate skill, she keeps on providing even more deployment cost to the allies right over there in the battlefield. With that kind of thing, you will be able to easily outnumber the opponents real fast. Okay, and next unit in the team is gonna be, it's gonna be Shaolin. Okay, Shaolin can deal a lot of damage against the opponents. One of the best attack stats out there in the game, and her basic attack can always deal critical damage. That's how good she really is. Okay, that's a lot of damage that we are talking about. And her ultimate skill can deal really good AoE damage with a very good knockback effect as well. And usually that ultimate skill wraps up the game. Okay, it actually deals a lot of damage and also deals a lot of damage to the ship as well, and that's quite good. It's just that like she's not in SS tier right now because she's quite squishy. These sniper units are very squishy, and they can be easily countered as well, as we have a lot of paratroopers, like let's say Assault Trooper, we have got Ju Sion, we have got the Kang Soyoung, and so on and on. Elizabeth Pendragon, and so on and on, guys. Alright, so the 4 cost, like, you will be losing that in no time at all. But if you are going to be able to provide very good protection for them, they can deal a lot of damage. like our Shaolin right over here. And next is gonna be Karin Wong. Karin Wong is really amazing sniper unit, especially if you are trying to face against the air type opponents, like let's say the Cheer Waifu Rosaria Lefride, or many other air type opponents like let's Sparrow and Woodpeckers. You can deal a lot of damage to them. Alright, and she can also create a wall in order to keep on pushing back the opponents back and back and back. And with the plasma blasters, she can deal 50% more damage, I believe. Okay, which is really good. And so on and on. All right, that's the Karin Wong for you guys. Now let's move on to the A tier, and the first one on the list is gonna be the Reginald. All right, the Dominic King Reginald. This guy is a monster when it comes to his stats. His HP and his defense stats are way off the chart for 4 deployment cost. And yes, the 4 deployment cost is the one that is holding him back. In those days when he gets the buff, alright, meaning like instead of 4 cost, he actually is gonna be deployable with just only 3 cost. At that time, my god, he's like an insane mid shield. He can take a lot of incoming damage. It's just that like he's quite selfish when he actually performs in the battlefield. That's the problem with him. Alright, so that's why he's in A tier right now. But in those like rate of weeks, he definitely can move up to SS tier. That's how good he really is. All right. Next is gonna be the Ari Alford. Ari Alford really good with the knockbacks, can really tank a lot of damage. And man, look at that, only two cost, and that makes her so effective as well. At the same time, you can easily build her up right away. Next is gonna be Yuzin. Yuzin, really good off-tank unit with only 3 deployment cost. Has one of the highest evasion stat out there in the game. Can totally evade a lot of incoming damages. Can deal a lot of damage to the opponents as well, and so on and on. Very great unit, guys. Next is gonna be this Maria Antonov. Maria Antonov is totally known for summoning a lot of extra opponents, like up to 5 of them, and that can totally turn the tides of the battle right away. Very great unit. All right, and the only problem is that her ultimate skill cooldown is way long. Okay, I mean, like, usually the battle gets wrapped up most of the time, like before she uses her ultimate skill. But once you actually use her ultimate skill, yeah, the game could totally turn around on your hands. Okay, because the 5 units right away, right into your arsenal, it's just too good. Next is gonna be the Mia right over here, guys. Mia, very good sniper unit. Lots of attack stats to her, more than 7,000 attack stat, and she can deal some really great damage against the opponents. And whenever she kills the opponents, she gets -5 skill cooldown on her ultimate skill. That's how good it is. Okay, so that's really great. And she has one of the best knockback out there in the game. Yes, she can totally knock back the opponents right away, from one end of the map to the other end of the map right away. That's how good she really is. Her knockback is the strongest out there in the game. Next is gonna be the Yumina, being able to deal some really great damage to the opponents. She's a little bit quite tanky as well. At the same time, being able to deal a lot of damage to the opponents with, I mean, like, if she can possibly hit the critical damage, she can knock out multiple opponents with just one strike. That's how good she really is. She's totally meant for dealing a lot of damage. Okay, that's the Yumina right over here. Next is gonna be the Cindy Looper. Cindy Looper is a very good off-tank, really good striker unit that can take a lot of damage head on and can deal a lot of damage. And her knockback effects with the chainsaw is really amazing as well. So for beginners, Cindy Looper and the Ari Alford is a really great combination together. Next is gonna be Buzzard right over here. Buzzard is totally known for dealing a pretty good damage against the opponents out there, and that's pretty much there's to it. All right, very good unit for the mech team compositions. All right, so yeah, that's that, guys. And the next unit is gonna be the Sparrow right over here. Sparrow is totally meant for having a lot of hits. Okay, so hit boost, meaning like he's gonna like this character is gonna be a really great unit against those units with the high evasion stats, like let's say for example Lee Yumi and our Ju Seong, right, our Yuzin, and so on and on, our Jane Doe. Yeah, against those kind of units, Sparrow is gonna be a really great unit. And this unit is an air top unit, so definitely there's a lot of advantage to it right away. Next is gonna be the Woodpecker with only 2 deployment cost. It's a striker unit and can deal a really great damage against the ranger units. Yes, I think 50% improved damage against the ranger units. So yes, Woodpecker, really good unit right over there. Next is gonna be the Lee Jisoo. All right, Lee Jisoo is totally known for decreasing the healing ability, or let's say the recovery amount or healing amount of the opponents by up to like 70 or 75% out there, and that's a lot. All right. And C can put a lot of debuffs on the opponents out there as well. I think C can also decrease the attack power of the opponents as well, also the attack speed, if I'm not wrong. Okay, just got a little bit confused right over there. Anyways, yeah, C is a very great debuffer when it comes around. And same goes with the this Doma, the Frederick Doma right over here as well. Good at like decreasing the healing amount of the opponents. And later on, if you are going to like like sum it together, you are also going to be able to enjoy that effect known as the reverse healing, meaning like when the opponents are healing themselves, instead of healing, they will actually suffer that like damage instead of healing. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. Like just like in Final Fantasy, when you are trying to heal a zombie unit, instead of healing them, it actually decreases their HP. Yeah, same thing like that. And Frederick Doma is also really good at debuffing the opponents real good as well. So Lee Jisoo and Frederick Doma, they're pretty much nearly the same type of units, being able to totally debuff the opponents. And Lee Jisoo in particular is also quite known for removing all the temporary buffs from the opponents. Yes, he's really good at dispelling the buffs from the opponents as well. And that's that, guys. Next unit in the list is gonna be the Jake Walker. Okay, right away, guys, the Jake Walker, the only problem with him is that like he has 4 deployment cost, which is really expensive. Or else he is a real great unit, very good evasion stats, very good off tank unit, can take a lot of damage out there as well, and he can provide attack speed boost as well as skill haste to himself as well, so that it can allow him to keep on using his skills real good, like over and over again. Pretty good unit, guys. Next is gonna be Choi Ina right over here, can provide +1 deployment cost every third basic attack, right, and can also provide skill haste for the allies as well with the drone. So pretty great unit, guys. All right, next is gonna be the Seo Yun right over here. Seo Yun, my god, the plus 30% attack boost to everyone out there in the battlefield. It just too good. She can decrease the defense of the opponents as well, and so much more. All right, she is a really good team player out there, being able to amplify the damage against the opponents. Really great unit, a very good team player. All right, that's that. Next is gonna be the this Lumi. Okay, Lumi is right over here because like they are very less ways or very unknown ways on how to really control her. Okay, I mean, like, yes, you will be able to, like, control her whenever the opponent is using the Lumi, but you will be spending a lot of deployment cost in order to just, like, avoid her or to control her or to kill her right away, and that can actually be quite problematic to your strategy. All right, that said, Lumi is really great when it comes to totally charging to the ship. She is going to deal some really good burst damage that can also deal some really great damage against the backline opponents, especially the snipers like Shaolin or Karin Wong and so on and on. Very great unit, guys, very great unit. If the opponents don't know how to counter the Lumi, they're pretty much screwed. Okay. Now let's move on to the next tier, and that's going to be B tier. And in the B tier, we have got Esterosa de Chevalier. Okay, there are so many people who are actually totally going to disagree to it, but, well, it's a fact. She cost 5 deployment cost. That's a lot. Yes, she's strong, but for 5 deployment cost, totally not worth it. All right, and she's nothing without her barriers, and there are so many units out there who are definitely going to be quite good at removing away the barriers. Like, let's Esterosa de Chevalier herself can remove the barriers. We have got John Mason who can remove the barriers as well, right, and so on and on. And without barrier, Esterosa de Chevalier, pretty squishy unit right away. And next is gonna be Arachne. Arachne is like kind of a mini Titan. We can take it like that way, and also at the same time, very good unit against the anti-air, or let's say, like, it's an anti-air unit, meaning like it can deal a lot of damage against the air type units and can control them real good as well. Next is gonna be the Gabriel June. Gabriel June is totally known for providing a really good defense for the ship against the backdoor opponents. If the opponents are going to backdoor you, well, at that time Gabriel June is gonna be a really great help, especially if you are trying to control the Lumi or any kind of other siege units as well. Okay, there we go, guys. Next is gonna be Thaddeus. Thaddeus right over here is like an assassin, can instantly kill the opponents if their SP is below 15% right over there whenever he's using the skill. So pretty good unit right away. Next is gonna be the Rifleman and the Shieldman. They are pretty much soldier units with only 2 deployment cost. Very amazing unit with together with the Kang Soyoung. They definitely are boosted and they will be able to have better battle performance right over there. Next is gonna be the Fiona Lowell. Very good tanking unit for the like beginners. Definitely she is going to provide a lot of defense against the incoming attacks from the opponents. So Fiona Lowell, very amazing defender. Next is going to be the Benedict Constantine, I believe. Benedict Constantine can tank a lot of incoming damage, and also at the same time can also stun the opponents as well. So really good unit, guys. All right, next is going to be Reaper right over here, and well, like, the basic job of the Reaper is just to calm down right away, and then like to just like bomb, and then like just go away, and then like it's like in overall it's like a 1 cost unit. Okay, when it comes inside the battlefield, like with the 3 cost, I believe, and then like it's going to refund you guys like 2 cost right away. So it's just like a 1 cost unit, and in those days, whenever it's kind of like raid boost, I mean, like, it's like buffed up, it's pretty much like it's a free unit. It's a free unit. Okay. At that time, it's going to be a 2 cost unit, right? And then, like, it's going to refund the 2 cost right to us. It's a free unit right away. So that's how good it is, okay? And now let's move on to the next tier, and that's going to be the C tier. And that's going to be Hansorim. All right. Hansorim is capable of dealing some really good constant damage, but that's all there is to it. Really good at dealing some really great damage against the opponents, and that is it, guys. Next is gonna be the Minato. Minato is totally known for his very low deployment cost. 2 deployment cost, but can deal a lot of hit stun to the opponents, even with his basic attack, and deal some really great AoE damage where he just used the bow and arrow. Yes, most of the people are so happy that this guy actually uses his bow and arrow. That unorthodox way of actually summoning a sun and just making it rain down on the opponents. A real good unit. Liv Allen totally boasts a really good evasion ability, because like she can provide a lot of evasion boost and definitely can work as a very great off tank out there as well. And she is a really good unit that can provide buff to the allies as well. So really good unit, Liv Allen. Next is gonna be the Kim Sobin. Kim Sobin is definitely a goddess tier unit, especially when it comes to PvE contents. But for the PvP content, the 4 deployment cost is just way too high. All right, and she is kind of more into like 1 versus 1 match rather than 1 versus many. Okay, so that's also the reason out there. But well, her damage output is pretty good nonetheless. Burn effect, and she can also provide barrier to herself that can be quite good at her self-sustenance. Next is gonna be Stronghold right over here, guys. Stronghold really good for taking a lot of damage, but most of the people say that like it's not really that worth it because it's quite squishy as well compared to the other tanks out there. So not a really great investment. And next is gonna be the Roy Burnett. Roy Burnett is really good unit, guys. Can provide a lot of buff out there going on around. I mean, like, he can decrease the defense of the opponents by 25%, if I'm not wrong, and that is crazy good. All right, and so much more right off the bat. So yeah, this guy is really great. Roy Burnett right over there, guys. What are the other things? I just kind of a little bit forgot about him, okay? Man, just too good. And next is gonna be the Bomi right over here. Bomi is also out here to decrease. She's that striker unit that actually improves her evasion stats real good, alright? And on top of that one, she can deal some really good AoE damage, alright? And she can also decrease the hit of the targets real good, okay? So while improving her evasion and also at the same time decreasing the hit stats of the opponents is going to be really great help for her to easily evade the incoming attacks from the opponents. So that's how good she really is. And that's going to be our Bomi. And next is gonna be the Ogami Mask. Yeah, right? Yeah, Ogami. Anyways, Ogami. This guy is a really great tank, being able to tank a lot of incoming damages from the opponents right out there. And that's pretty much it. Next is gonna be the Legion right over here. She's like kind of a suicidal bomb or a human bomb. Can deal a lot of damage, especially if she is going to die, okay? And next to that, she can decrease the defense of the opponents and so on and on. Very great utility out there in the battlefield. Next is going to be the Terminator, being able to tank a lot of damage and also at the same time being able to decrease the defense of the opponents by up to 20%. Very great utility unit, but that's all there is to it. In overall, is not quite competitive compared to the other units because he has a 4 deployment cost right over there. Next is going to be the Kathy Wade. Kathy Wade with only 2 deployment cost, very good unit when it comes to providing a lot of support for the ranger type units, improving their attack speed, but that's all there is to it. Very great unit for the PvE contests, but for the PvP not really recommended. Next one is gonna be the Stinger Gunner, and Stinger Gunner is totally meant for countering the air type units, okay? Yes, yeah, there we go. And next is gonna be the Suppressor out here. Suppressor are totally meant to knock back the opponents. They are very good at knocking back the opponents, but that's all there is to it. Next is gonna be the Chariot right over here. Chariot can knock back the opponents and can also deal some really good damage against the opponents. But yeah, that's all. A very good unit for the mech team composition. Next one is gonna be the Recoilless Gunner. Very good damage against the mech units as well as the siege units. Yeah, there we go. If the opponents are going to use the siege units and the mech type units, you are definitely going to be able to enjoy using Recoilless Gunner in your team. Next is gonna be the Blacktail. Blacktail, I mean, like whenever it's going to die, it's going to pop out 3 scouts right away. So it's like a 4-in-1 unit, okay? So that's how good it is. Can deal really good damage against the ground type opponents, okay? So yeah, there we go. And now the other units right over here are on the unusable category. That's gonna be the Tactical Truck right over here. Kim Cho-won, Hirosaki Chohojin, Amy Strickland, Sweeper Scout, this Rhino, Peacekeeper, Laura Beatrix, HM Emeralds, this Frederick Yuma. We have got this Spearhead, and we have got this Orca, right? So these units are totally unusable for the PvP contests. That's what we have actually come to the point. So if you actually just, like, if you are trying to really excel in the PvP content, don't even think about, you know, like kind of building them up. All right, these guys might be really great unit when it comes to PvE contents, but for PvP totally not usable. And the other unit right over here are totally fodder and shell. I mean, like, as soon as you get them, you can totally sell them right away for extra on that that ownerless business cards or to implant them. Okay, so right away, totally not gonna be of any use at all in any case. Okay, so these units totally bullshit. Anyways, there we go. That's the PvP tier list. I will definitely try to provide the the image of this tier list down in the Imgur link right away there in the description section below if you want to check it out. And again, I would really love to give a very big shout out and thanks to these two amazing guys known as Arisante and Voodoo. Please do check out the YouTube channel of Arisante. He always tries to keep on providing a lot of amazing contents regarding the counter side, being a really great guy right over there with tons and tons of amazing information regarding the counter side. Is really addicted to it as well. So yes, you can actually get a lot of help from him, from his Discord channel as well as his YouTube channel. Okay, so yeah, support him. Anyways, that's it and done, guys. That is pretty much it for today. What do you guys think about this tier list? If you do like this tier list, do hit that like and subscribe button right away. And if you don't, then please do let me in the comment section below which particular unit do you really disagree on, and let's have a really good discussion on that particular unit. All right, that's it. See you guys in the next video.